Today I asked the question on social media, what was the relationship like with your dad? Now, this thread continues the conversations that I've been having on the podcast this week about generational trauma, because the relationship with your dad is often the most common thread that I find in all the conversations that I've had with dads over the past 5 years. It can be this sliding scale between the dad that was the dumpster fire that I talked about, where his problems were just abound. He was always angry, maybe an alcoholic, really the destructive thing that you think of when you think of a dumpster fire. And then the other kind of dad on the other side that you would describe him maybe as a legend. He guided you where you needed to go. He helped you understand your power. He helped you understand where you could go and that you could do anything in this life that you wanted. But today I want to dive into the dumpster fire dad for a moment, because these dads are a destructive force in a son's life, and most likely at an early age taught them that a desire to feel loved was an invitation for a beating or a fit of pure anger. A son in this category learned he had to shut off his emotions operating system to survive. Has that ever been you? Have you ever been told that you don't really show emotions, that you don't really express joy? You don't look happy? For the son of the dumpster fire dad, this is just who he had to be. And not just be, but become through daily choices in order to survive. He hasn't experienced anything else other than survival by turning off the components that was getting him in trouble. Life was defined out of a place of fear and scarcity versus what could bring me joy. Now, as we've been talking about this week, this is some pretty deep stuff. And if you've ever thought about the relationship with your dad, this just might have hit you like a 2-ton wrecking ball. Well, you're not alone in this. As we've been talking this week, this thing called generational trauma, this relationship you had with your dad, is something that, if you look, has probably been passed down from generation to generation. But the question before you is, will it end with you? The question that I've often dove into that just kind of come up to in conversations, what was your relationship with love as a kid? Because when I'm coaching a dad, I am looking for their relationship with love. Because as I understand their relationship with love, they'll be able to understand where they're getting it, where they are seeking it externally, and the behaviors they need to do to get it externally. Because it's that relationship with love as a kid that dictates a lot of your subconscious choices, what you do every day, the vices that you bring into your life. All of those things help you understand more about what may be in the generational trauma that you need to acknowledge, grow through, and figure out. But let that question sink in. What was the relationship with love as a kid? Let it lead you to some memories that might even be dark. But let it guide you through the darkness you probably have ignored your entire life. You can't run from it. You can't hide from it. You can only own it. You can only reframe it and make clear choice to make sure that the cycle ends with you. And I'll be back again with you guys for one more message before we round out this week tomorrow.